Okay, listen, you're about to see our intro and you're about to see this video, and it is long. We understand that. But there's a lot of good information. It's about breaking habits.
Watching the whole thing.
What we say at the end is really important for you to know at the
We
beginning.
should have said that at now. So
which is, we're not telling you to break all these habits at once.
Yeah, layer them.
Layer them. You'll understand that.
You'll understand later
end.
when you see us say it again.
When you see it at the end,
just
comment
don't
down
feel
below and tell
overwhelmed
us.
when you watch this.
Yeah.
That's all.
We love you.
Welcome. Bye. Hello, 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 and welcome back to Jen Hannigans.
She's Jen, I'm Hannah. We are two best friends that have been doing this healthy life thing for almost 3 years now. It started out as a weight loss journey, mostly for me. I was over 500 pounds. Turned into a passion for health in all areas, physical, mental, spiritual, emotional.
Yes, all of the things.
So,
we're both wearing purple today.
We are. That wasn't planned, but it works out well. If you saw, this is going to be the end of the week video. You saw earlier this week we did a video about chasing the habit. Chasing the habit of whatever it is.
Instead of chasing the results. Go check that video out.
Yeah, I don't even remember what all we said because it's been a while since we filmed it. But today's video is going to be breaking the habit. And this came from Late Night Mexican.
Yeah, yeah. So, well, number one.
So, okay. We went to Mexican, we ate, we left, and we felt miserable from overeating. Not because we actually ate that much. She had 2 tacos and some rice.
2 tacos and refried beans and 2 bites of carrot and rice.
I had 3 shrimp tacos, which is 12 shrimp, 3 tortillas, and refried beans. No chips, nothing else. We were stuffed. When we used to eat an entire thing of fajitas, all of the sides,
chips
an
and
entire
salsa,
bag
chips
of
and
chips,
cheese, chips and guacamole.
Yeah, all the things. And we would leave there and we would go to get a Frosty with spicy pecans.
I remember that. That was a 17-day diet days.
Yeah.
I don't know what we were thinking.
So we were like, how are we so full? And that we got to talking about the way we were brought up. Anybody in our generation, you were brought up to clean your plate.
Clear your plate.
So we started talking about the habits that got us to the weight we were and the habits we had to break along the way. And we found quite a few of them. So we're going to try and talk.
So the last video was chasing the good habit, like the habit, like chasing the habit instead of chasing results. This time it's about breaking the bad habits.
These are habits we either had to break or we are still working on breaking. You've got the list though. Oh,
so, well, the first one, because we were just talking about the Mexican thing, is number one, we'll say, was clearing our plate.
Yeah.
Like, feeling like that was the reason why we were full. I actually told Hannah after my first taco, like, I really probably don't need to eat this second taco. And I ate it anyway. Because the mentality when you learn from a kid, if you guys have kids, it's so tempting. I have 6. It's very tempting to tell those kids to clean their plate. It's super tempting.
Especially if they're fighting you on eating anything at all.
Yeah.
It's difficult.
Yeah. So what I do is I actually start my kids out with a literal bite size of each item. And so they can try it. You cannot try it. They're snackers. I mean, whatever. I would rather them be intuitive about what they're eating. But anyway, we were raised.
Right things now, but that's not how we were raised.
Yes, well, we were raised that, you know, you clear your plate. Like, that's the thing to do. So that mentality runs deep. When you learn things as a kid, it's a lot deeper than what you think.
And that was, cleaning your plate was one of 2 things in my house. It was either you're gonna eat what I gave you and you're gonna be happy with it. And this is not against mom and dad. I actually heard it.
Parents.
I heard it more from like other people, but that was one thing. Or it was, you fill your plate up at the family dinner and they're like, you know, you have to eat everything that you took to try and teach you not to take too much food. Me, I'm like, challenge accepted.
Yeah.
I carried that through my adult life.
I will eat it all.
So you don't have to clear your plate. That's not a thing. If you're worried about food waste, which is we were talking about, I had shrimp tacos. Shrimp's not the easiest thing to reheat, but I could have very easily taken that home, got rid of the shells, taken those 8 shrimp and what was left of the refried beans, done some cauliflower fried rice and threw all that together and made a fajita bowl the next day and been so happy.
The thing about food waste is that if it's already on your plate and your body doesn't need it, it's already wasted.
Yep.
Like, unless your partner, your neighbor, your friend, whoever you're with wants to eat the taco.
Yeah.
You know, like, it's already wasted. It's already on your plate. And if your body doesn't eat it, it's definitely a waste. Okay.
Or going to your waist.
Or going to your waist, yes. So number 2, along with the Mexican restaurant, was our habit was always chips. Who else eats chips at the Mexican restaurant? Come on.
Completely habit.
Yeah.
They put it in front of you.
And you just mindlessly munch. So
and then you're full before you get your meal.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And then you still eat your meal. So it took us when we, I don't know, when did we start saying no chips? Like, it's been a little while.
We still forget to say no chips, but
we don't eat them.
We just put them over to the side.
But we try, if it's like a regular Mexican restaurant, we say, hey, no chips, no chips, no chips. And so some of them know. So we'll say no chips. And then we don't like miss the chips.
We actually have one waiter at our local restaurant that he'll grab the chips and salsa and he'll come over. He's like, because he knows
we're not going to eat the chips. So we have just decided we're just not going to have the chips come to our table. If they do come to our table, we just don't eat them. But we realized it wasn't that we wanted chips, even though chips and salsa have their place. Don't get me wrong, but we're just a habit of eating them. So you don't always have to eat the appetizer or the chips at the Mexican restaurant. Number 3.
Celebrating everything with food, and with rich food and filling food and fatting food, and
every single thing comes with a Now today is Hannah's birthday.
Last week for when you're watching this.
Yes, she's special and amazing, and happy birthday to you. But I had the idea. I was like, should I get a cake? And like, I had talked to another friend of ours. And I was like, I was going to bring cake. She's like, I'm already making a cake. And I was like, okay, well, we probably shouldn't add another cake. Our friend actually ended up having 2 cakes, and so
they were delicious.
When we
but
had
we didn't
this
need another
conversation about the cake thing, I had already talked to Corby about the cake, and I remember thinking, like, I can celebrate Hannah's birthday without adding a cake to the mix. Like, I just feel like we do everything. Not to say there's anything wrong with birthday cake. Don't get me wrong. But not every day is a celebration.
The thing is, birthdays, Valentine's Day, graduations, I haven't seen you in a while, let's have a barbecue. Everything becomes a celebration around food. And there are other ways to celebrate. We've talked about it before, so we really don't have to go full depth into it. But that is a habit that is very hard to break. And the first couple of years, it was really stressful. Holidays were really stressful because we're like, what are we going to eat? That's not an issue anymore. Now it's really about the fun we have with each other and with our friends and our family and whatever. Yeah. So break that habit. You don't have to
there's a lot of other things
that
you can do. I mean, and even like going out to eat to celebrate whatever it may be, you don't actually have to do that. I mean, like if we weren't facing a snowstorm right now, we would have gone on a hike for Hannah's birthday. You know, like we're facing a snowstorm, so that's not gonna happen. But you know what I'm saying? Like there's other things you can do. Anyway, that's number 3. And then
dessert at every meal. Yeah, I don't know about you all, but that was a habit for me. And
if you eat really salty foods, then sweet. You want sweet afterwards. It makes you crave.
And I'm not necessarily talking about a dessert like a great homemade strawberry shortcake or something like that. I'm talking about like the Little Debbie desserts that you grab out of habit and you never stop at just one. And it's not necessary. You don't have to have a dessert at the end of your meal.
Yeah. You don't have to have the dessert at the end of any meal.
No.
Like, if you want one, I mean,
I wonder where that came
maybe choose one meal a day, I guess, but
you don't. You really don't. I don't know where that even came from. Like, that became a thing.
I do remember, like, stories from my grandma in the old days that, like, you had a dessert after lunch and you had a dessert after supper.
See,
but maybe they didn't do as much snacking as we did.
Probably not.
Because I don't think they snacked like this, like what we do. Okay, number whatever we're on, 5.
Yeah, mindless. Is that where we're
That's mindless eating.
That's your big thing.
It is so important to experience your food and make your food a thing. I have said it before, and I will say it a million times more. If I am sitting at the counter eating, I say kid food, I'm just not going to enjoy my meal. I'm just like standing there or, you know, talking to somebody, or I think that it's important for you to enjoy the texture, the color, the flavor, eat slowly, pay attention. Pay attention to how you feel. Like as you're eating, because there's been times where I've scarfed down a snack and went to go track my stuff at the end of the day. I'm like, oh, I didn't remember.
If you don't sit down to enjoy your food. I mean, I've been guilty of it. Like, I'll get at the end of the day and I'll be like, did I eat anything today? And I really can't remember. And it's because it was snacky all day long and not paying attention. You get more enjoyment out of it. And I always said that I wouldn't do weight loss surgery because I couldn't go without celebrating, and I wanted to eat what I wanted to eat when I wanted to eat it. And I have come to realize that that's really out of the habit of like snacking on everything and mindless eating.
Yeah.
And if I was to get to that point, I could probably do it, because what little food you would eat after that kind of surgery, I would take the time to enjoy.
Yeah, and that's where the whole intuitive eating comes from. That's a big thing right now for people.
But don't do it if your intuition is to overeat.
Yeah.
You got to work up to that.
But if you are really watching how, like, as you're eating and experiencing every bite, it does make a difference. And your body will acknowledge when you're full better than if you hadn't been paying attention.
Ooh, this is...
Number 6. This is Hannah's.
Upsizing to a large because it's cheaper. A better value.
I thought about that too, because
you go
I'm
to
a cheapie
Walmart,
anyway.
Not Walmart, McDonald's. You still go, and the large is less expensive and more than the medium.
I can get a large drink and a large fry for $1 extra. What?
Yeah. So it was always upsize it because you can get more. What? Why do we do that? You don't need it.
That's how they get us, Hannah.
That's
so these are habits, guys. Right. These are things that like you just don't even think about it. Like it's like, of course I'm gonna get the size large meal for just $1 more.
I still do it.
Of course I'm gonna sit down and
order for someone else. I'm like, you want a large, right? And it's like,
like wait,
why?
And then like the mindless eating thing, like it really is just a part of what you're doing without even thinking about it.
Just,
where are we at? 7?
Yeah, I think. Yeah. 7.
Oh, we talked about this.
We talked about that, waste of food.
Wasting food. Like, that whole waste of food mindset of, like, eat everything because you're wasting food. If it's on your plate, like, you need to eat it or it's a waste. Well, if your body doesn't need it, it's a waste.
And me not eating the plate that's on my food is not going to help the starving child in Africa.
I know. Like, I mean, I would love to do everything I could to help the kids in Africa. Like, that's always, we say kids in Africa because that's the story we grew up with.
Yep.
Like there's not starving kids other places or right here in America.
There are starving kids everywhere.
But parents, stop saying that stuff.
Me eating what's on my plate is not going to help another starving kids, because if I don't
eat it,
what
will help a starving child? All of the food that big box stores throw away at the end of the day.
Oh, don't get started on that.
Let's keep going.
We'll be here
okay,
forever.
Sweet breakfast. I think this is... Go ahead.
So... breakfast was always
This is number 8,
and pancakes and waffles aside, because that can be a treat thing. But cinnamon rolls, why is that a breakfast thing? Super sugary cereals, you don't need it. It starts your day off bad. I'm sorry, that's a little bit of the thing. Do you know what they have now? Kind of on topic, but not. Why do they have Fruity Pebbles syrup?
Like it's red.
It's red. It's like
the
number 3rd ingredient is red dye, whatever.
Because that's all it is. It's like red dye and high fructose corn syrup.
Pop-Tarts. What else? What are other sweets?
All of the granola bars, they're loaded with sugar. Protein bars can be loaded with sugar. Like, what happens when you start the morning off with something sweet is your blood sugar spikes, and then all day long, that's what you're wanting. Like, you're depending on that for energy. You're depending on that because that's just what your body is craving, because you got it started with that.
And you start off with a sweet, and then you crash, and you need a sweet.
Yes.
And then you crash.
So we like to start with the high protein. Like I like to start with eggs and some kind of meat in the morning, because I always tend to stay full longer. I tend to have way less cravings during the day.
You just feel better.
And that is now my habit, to start the morning with some kind of protein.
But I had to break the habit of not eating breakfast, and before that my habit was sweet breakfast, and that never works out. I had eggs and vegetable scramble the other day, and I didn't want to eat again until 4 because it filled me up and gave me all the energy that I needed. So sweets for breakfast.
If you're counting points or calories, if you have a cinnamon roll for breakfast, there's a good chance you're going to use 20 or more points. And so what happens with that, if you use all of your points or all of your calories at the beginning of the day, it's so easy for you to say, forget the rest of the day. I've already used my points. I've already used my calories. I'm just not going to track this. I'm just going to eat whatever I want to today. It just really starts you out badly in every way.
You can completely come back from that, because there are plenty of 0-point meals that you can have, especially with the personal points and adding points. But starting your day off with sugar is not going to set you up for a good day, and it is definitely not going to help your weight loss.
No. Number 9 is, we talked about this in a video. Maybe it was the habits video. I'm not sure. But is about binging on desserts, where we have talked about like trying to get in the mindset of enjoying one dessert and like one piece instead of like eating the whole pan of brownies.
Yeah. So like tonight
is a great example.
Cake. There were 2 different cakes.
And our friend Corby, shout out to Corby if you're watching this. She's an amazing baker. We love her to pieces. Not just because she bakes. She has a lot of great qualities, but she is an amazing baker.
She is.
And she baked 2 cakes today.
She did.
What was your solution to the 2 cakes?
My solution for the 2 cakes was to cut the pieces in half, in a little less than half, because I cut small pieces in half. And ate those. So in total, I ate 1
slice of cake,
medium slice of cake. And I was able to fully enjoy it and not overindulge. And it was great. But if a normal day or a normal past life, I would have ate 2 full slices of both pieces, both cakes. And I would have been miserable. And I did not enjoy it as much.
Yeah. I did the same thing. I just got a little sliver of each piece. And so I was able to enjoy both. One of them was a chocolate. One of them was like an Oreo cake. And they were both so great. But I was able to enjoy both of them as one piece of cake. I was completely content.
Yes, I was. Oh, it was so good.
I enjoyed
the
piece of cake
anymore because
that I had.
And
actually, she sent home quite a bit for my family, and I would probably be okay to not. I might have a little piece of the Oreo in the morning for my sweet dessert. I meant for my mid-afternoon snack. I will not eat it for breakfast.
Do it with coffee when the snow's coming down.
Right.
No, it was great, and I was able to enjoy it a lot more. The other example we have is, when was the last time, you know, you can go to a bakery and order 1 croissant or 1 donut? We don't do that.
And if you walk into a beautiful bakery with all these beautiful items, like, take it in, like, take in the smells, take in the sights, choose 1 beautiful item that you really want to eat, and then find a time where you can sit down and enjoy that. Like, eat, enjoy every flavor and texture, and really just make it a special treat, like what it is supposed to be, and not feel like you have to buy a dozen and scarf it down in the car,
or take it and force feed it to your friends and family because you've ate 3 already and you don't want to eat the rest.
Hurts Donuts in Branson is a bad example of this, or a good example of this.
Yeah, that's dangerous. But it's hard to pick 1 donut when you go in there.
If you're
that's
going
the
to
problem.
Hurts, you pick the blueberry donut. That's it. That's it. That's all you need. Anyway, the last one is something that we have both done, is drink a soda with a meal. Such a habit. My husband loves Pepsi with Mexican food, and I cannot stand it. I'm like, just drink some water. But, that's him. I can't do it. I can't say anything about it.
Soda was a habit period for me, and then when we started WW, it was, I'll drink water throughout the day, but a soda with each and every
People
meal.
are like, if I do without soda, what am I supposed to drink?
Yeah. Well, and soda wasn't even a thing for you until we started WW.
I used to work at KFC 12 years ago, and I drank so much soda all day long. And so it got me started on soda for years. And then when I was pregnant with my daughter, I decided I was going to stop soda. Like, I don't know why. I wasn't really like trying to lose weight or anything. It was just a health thing or whatever. So anyway, I did not drink any soda for all that time. My daughter is 12. And when we started WW, I'm like, well, a zero point diet soda is a great treat. And so then I started a habit that probably lasted a year and a half, of me drinking diet soda like 2 times a day, which is a lot.
Yeah.
And diet soda is not good for you. Like, I mean, if you're a diet soda person, that's great. Like, you do you. But for me, I'm like, this is not doing my body any good. And there's studies that show it's not the best for you. But anyway, so I got started on that just because it was a 0 point treat. And so I had to say, I gotta break this habit.
And the thing is, diet soda, while it may be 0 points, it has been scientifically proven that it makes you hungrier.
It does, and it still messes with your blood sugars, even though it's, 0 sugar or whatever.
So that was the last, to kind of wrap it up. You were right about it being a 20-minute video.
Yeah. We're not done yet.
No.
One more thing.
Well, 2 more things.
Okay, go ahead.
one is when you break these habits, don't slip back into them. And that's difficult. That's something we still are learning, right?
Yeah, and being really intentional and aware.
Yes.
Because like if you feel yourself falling back into that habit, you've got to be like, okay, I got to pull myself back from this. We're not going to go full-fledged into this habit again, because you'll have a harder time getting out of it.
So, and that goes into your soda thing. Like that wasn't a habit, then it became a habit, then it was hard to break that habit. The last thing I want to say, we just gave you 10 habits to break. And if you break these habits, if you have them, it will lead to success. Whether that success is weight loss on the scale or just feeling better, it will help. But this is not, I feel weird saying this, but think of it like a building. We just gave you 10 floors of this building. We are not telling you to get on the elevator and take the express to the top, break all these habits. If you do that, it is possible. It is possible for a short period of time to break all these habits.
Yeah.
Temporarily. But then you will probably, most likely, because we've done it, pick the habits back up and do worse habits. This is really something you need to take the stairs, the metaphorical stairs, and take it one level at a time. Pick one of them and break that habit.
And then
stay there and then keep going. Break them in layers, because when you do that, you will be successful.
If you say, I'm going to take all these 10 habits and I'm going to break them, that's extremely overwhelming and probably not sustainable.
No.
So, but if you can live your life with breaking one habit, and then live your life with 2 habits broken, and then live your life with 3, like it's just, you get used to it.
And you forget that they were habits.
You're like, oh, I forgot that I used to do that. Or, so just don't try to do it all at once.
No. And the other
I know we gave you a lot of information, but don't try to do it all at once.
Watch the video again. We should have started
that.
Watch the video again.
Yeah, with that mindset.
Yes. And the thing with that too is if you say, I'm going to break, even just, I'm going to pick these 5 things and I'm going to stop doing all 5 of these things, and then you mess up on one of them, you're going to give up on the others real quick.
Yep.
That's just how it happens. That's how our mind works. So,
like if I can't do all of this stuff.
If I can't do all of it,
moms have that same problem. Like, I'm going to do all of this stuff with my kids, and then you miss out on one thing, and you're like, I'm failing. I'm not even going to try.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people have that.
So,
anyway.
We're done.
Was this helpful to you? If it was, then hit the like button. And
I hope you made it all the way through, because there really was good information.
Yeah, I think so. I think we did good on
love this
one.
High five. Yes.
Happy birthday to Hannah.
Carradine was in the car with us when we were coming up with all these. She's like, I need to listen to this video. And if a 12-year-old is saying that, it's good.
She's great.
Like the video, subscribe if you haven't. We have a bunch of new subscribers, so hi, we love you, welcome. And share.
Yeah.
Share it with somebody that has some of these habits. Maybe not. That might be a little bit mean. Anyway.
Like, hey, this is you.
We love you. We hope you love us, and bye.
We'll see you next time. This is what we look like after we film a video.
This is
going in there.
This is the after the beat.
This is us deflated of personality.
That's it. Okay.
Stop video.
It's not gonna stop.
Stop it.
You have to press the button. Press the button. Bye.